was your good morning.
That was my good morning. All right, here we go. Here we go. Boom. We're live.
Good morning.
Good morning. Howdy, hey. Happy Saturday.
Oh, it is.
Do we have a lot going on today?
Don't say it, but we don't actually have much. I thought maybe we could go for a walk.
I do have to do some editing.
Okay, you have to do editing, and I think we should go for a walk. That's all we have planned.
Maybe so. Good morning, Nancy says. Tom says hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, hello, hello. Zexto is here. Good morning. So far, we have been listening to excited stories of the two who got to spend the entire week gallivanting around
Southern California.
Southern California.
They had a beach day. They went to Buca de Beppo. They had a day at Disney in which Dante got to do some underscoring for a film in the band. That was pretty cool.
They're really not going to use it.
I know, but he got to learn the process.
Yep.
And then the next day they were in Disney and they got to be in the parade, the Main State Parade, and then spend their whole rest of the day at Disney. And then they had a day at Universal, and then they had a day at Cal State at Fullerton. So
Cal State Fullerton, yep.
So we've been hearing all their stories.
Stupid work, Bob Rock says. Stupid work.
Truth.
Howdy, howdy, David Brownlee. Hello, sir. Good to see you.
Good morning.
We had a rather exciting experience last night at the Game 5 of the first round of the WHL playoffs.
We were down 3-1.
We're down 3-1.
No, as in for the whole series, not the game.
Yep.
We were down 3-1 from the series, and it's best of 7, so it was kind of a run out, do or die kind of situation. Thank you, dear.
So we had to win for the series to continue. And I say we because
we are the Wenatchee Wilds.
We're not.
Our team
we're
had
not
to win.
part of the team.
We didn't actually do
it's
anything.
Our team here locally, and we were up 3-1 going into the third period. Matter of fact, we were up 3-1 going into the last 5 minutes of the third period. And wouldn't you know it, we've talked about this a lot. What do you think happened? Just what do you think happened?
Well, it did.
The funny men in the black and white striped uniforms
They had
decided to make it interesting.
Well, they'd make it interesting earlier because Kento was out in the first period.
Well, I mean, that was in my opinion, that was a dirty hit.
It was a dirty hit.
It was open ice, blindsided hit. Kenta had the puck, had just shot the puck, had just scored a goal.
And then somebody came and hit him.
And somebody blindsided him.
And he was down.
They got a 5-minute game misconduct for it, and he went down, and boy, you would have thought that somebody opened the Winter Soldier cages because
our team came out.
Our two defensive guys, Sword, who is usually
pretty
cold as ice, very calm, very level-headed, he went freaking nuts. And Persofsky,
and then it was fight after
our
fight
team
after
enforcer,
fight after fight.
Went off. And this was back in the first period. That was the third goal. I think Kenta's goal was the third goal to put us up 3-1. Kelowna actually scored first, which has been, I think, the norm.
No, we scored within the first 20 seconds.
Did we?
Yeah, we scored within the first 20 seconds, and then they scored.
No, I don't think so.
Yes, I have the text saying that we did.
Okay. All right.
We scored first because we were
Hola,
down
amigos. Nuno says, hello, everyone. How's everybody doing? We're pretty good. From your attitude, they lost. Here's the thing. The refs decided to make it interesting for us. I mean, it's like the league, honestly.
Doesn't like when
It's like the league said, don't let Wenatchee play hockey.
Yeah.
Call them for anything. If they breathe on a guy the wrong way, call them for it. That's what it has felt like the 3 games that have been at home. I didn't watch the 2 games that were up in Kelowna, which we lost both of them. But the 2 games that have been here, it's been 6 on 10 the entire game.
We did have. I actually told some of the Kelowna fans, I said, you know.
Yeah, we've actually had.
We kind of developed a little friendship with them.
A really good friendly relationship with a family of Kelowna fans that have come down every single game, and you know, and they've been saying the same thing. They're like,
said, "What is with
"Good
these
night.
refs?"
What is up with the officiating?"
After Kenta's hit, they were like, "How come that wasn't a call on us? Like that was terrible. How could they allow that such dirty play?"
Well, that did happen.
It did.
What they were saying after that is, one of our guys got pushed into the
that
goalie.
was terrible. He stood there, hands up.
While
going, hey.
he's sitting there trying to do that. He got pushed into their goalie, and then we scored a goal.
Yeah.
Of course, the goal was disallowed because of
The goalie couldn't get anywhere.
goalie interference. But then he gets called for goalie interference after being pushed into.
And even the
I don't
fans
know. I don't
behind
get
us, the other team, was like, "How is that against you guys? We pushed you into the goalie
We
and
can't.
held you at the goalie."
We can't. Yeah, exactly. Pushed him. I mean, it's like he gets pushed into the goalie, and they're both laying in the net.
Yeah.
So of course the goal's going to be disallowed. I get that.
Right.
But then to not only get the goal, but now you're down a guy because our guy got pushed into the other guy. It
was crazy.
I can't.
Then
Anyway.
at the last moment,
Anyway.
we tied. We were in a tie.
Yeah, we tied it up. We went up. We scored another goal in the last 5 minutes.
Yes. So now it
Then
was 4-4.
straightway after that, it's 4-1. It's 4-2 because they
4-2.
scored another goal. It's 4-2, and in the last 5 minutes, one of our guys gets called double minor for high sticking. And the only reason he high sticked was because one of the Kelowna players tried to lift his stick off of the puck and lifted his stick into the face of one of his other guys. And they called us double minor high sticking. So now, last 5 minutes, we're going to be down a guy.
Yeah.
Of course, Kelowna pulls their goalie.
Right.
So now we're down 2 guys.
Yeah.
In the last, and it's
3
one of
minutes
those,
or something,
double
you know.
minor. One of the double minors goes away, but you score a goal, and you're still down a guy.
Yeah.
Because now you've got the second minor. So anyway, long story short,
We ended up in overtime.
end of regulation is 4-4. End of regulation is 4-4 because you're down the last 3 minutes of the game. You're down 2 guys. Mm-hmm. Come on, if the
And they pulled their goalie,
if the other team doesn't score goals on you, 2 guys up
Right.
in the last 5 minutes of the game, come on.
Now, if they had won, we would have been out of the playoffs.
Yep.
But
We go into overtime, and playoff hockey is 5-on-5, sudden death. And what was it? A minute, 30 seconds?
yeah, like a minute 30,
A minute, 30 seconds in,
we scored,
Stephen Arp,
and then we were done.
game winner.
Now, we honestly...
And the coolest thing about it, and I don't mean it's not really the coolest thing, but the coolest thing for me about it, Stephen Arp, Christian.
Yeah.
He's one of the guys that's on the ice praying after the game.
Yeah.
Every single time, with a few exceptions, but I just thought that was cool. This is his first goal of the playoffs. It was a game-winning goal, Game 5.
Yeah.
I kept the season going. I love those kinds of situations.
We don't think the next 2 games are up in Kelowna. I don't.
Next, goes 2-2, 1-1-1. So 2 games at home. We
2 games
lost
in
1,
Kelowna.
and we won 1.
Yes.
2 games in Kelowna.
Yes.
We lost both. So I better be careful. So it's 3-1 going into the 5th game. We won the 5th game. So now we've got 2 more games left. One is going to be in Kelowna on Sunday, and then one on Tuesday here. If they win Game 6.
Right.
So we have to win Game 6 to bring it back home for a
Game
possibility to win the series. Realistically, I don't think that's going to happen. I think Kelowna is going to slam the door. Game 6 on Sunday, and that'll be the end of the season. But you never know. Depends on, and this is the weird thing about it, and this is how, it depends on how badly Kenta's hurt. If Kenta isn't able to play Game 6,
we're out.
I'm thinking the other way. I'm thinking the rest of our guys are so jazzed up, they're going to play their butts off, win Game 6, and bring it back to Game 7.
Maybe.
But if Kenta comes back, I think we do have we still have a good chance because we gave them a run for their money tonight. We just have to play like they did last night. That's all it is.
But Sam got me a new shirt. Not too wild
Well,
shirt.
here's the thing. We had from the board game event that we did. The team gave us a $50 gift card.
Yes.
So I was like, well,
new shirts.
Don't know if it's gonna be past. Don't know if we're gonna have another game this year. So might as well go ahead and use it now. So we got a couple of shirts for this was like $10.
Nice.
And like with the gift certificate and our season ticket holder discount, it was like $10.30 for both shirts together. I was like, yes, we'll do that.
Speaking of game night, this Friday we have game night at Steamers West.
Blake. All right, dude. I can't do that, man. I cannot. It says, this is why I always live by my philosophy of don't support one specific team and just enjoy the game because you don't have this stress. Well, we do enjoy the game. We enjoy the game in a number of different ways, not just watching the game being played. We enjoyed the banter between us and the Kelowna people that after the first game, the first game 1 at home, right off the bat, I was like, listen, I'm going to be trash talking the entire time. It's nothing personal. Mm-hmm. And they were like, oh, yeah, that's what makes it fun. Yeah, this is going to be great.
They were so nice. They were so nice.
So the first 2 games, they sat across the aisle from us. This game, they were right behind us. They came and sat right behind us.
It was really great. Actually, really cool. It was super nice. And one of the highlights was, as I was talking to one of the people from Kelowna yesterday, who I had, who was here last week. Mm-hmm. I said, well, welcome back. We're glad you're here. And she says, I went home and told everybody that I met the nicest people in Wenatchee, and they were so kind. And even though we beat them one game and they beat us one game, we had a nice conversation. We had a good things. She goes, I actually considered these people. I told them, I was like, I feel like these people could be friends. Yeah. Like, it was so nice.
That's cool.
So I felt really positive about that, that she told her friends, nah, people in Wenatchee are nice, good people.
Not all of us.
Me.
Not all of us.
Maybe just us.
She is.
You're nice.
Well, I'm not. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying there's a lot of questionable people.
Well, if they go home and tell their friends that, boy, people in Wenatchee are nice, more people will come down and visit Wenatchee. I'm just saying.
Nothing wrong with banter and trash talking, but my issue is sometimes people just make totally irrational arguments and won't listen to reason.
People get really...
Those are called fanatics, Nuno Rebello says.
Yeah.
Hey, Nuno, guess where we get our word fan from? That's exactly the word. The word fan is a diminutive form of the word fanatics.
Yeah.
And you guys are absolutely right.
People can get
do get fanatical about the games they support, the teams they support, and I'm not all about that. Now, don't get me wrong. If I see something bad going on the ice, I'll let the refs have it. Now, I don't let them have it like everybody else in the stadium was letting them have it last night.
There was a whole chant,
Multiple times throughout the entire game, there was a very
loud chant
going on from most of the people in the stands. But, A lot of it is playful too. There's a guy that sits right behind us that, when the refs are skating out at the beginning of the game, you're a bum, ref, that kind of stuff. But that's just like, that's tradition almost. Every game, you have to give them a little bit of, got to give them a little bit of guff. But, I say stuff like, so-and-so's from Kelowna, that kind of thing. If it's a ref, but if the Kelowna goalie made a good save, I turned around. I was like, that was a good save.
Yeah,
he
made some great saves.
And they did the same thing.
Yeah.
It was just a really.
It was a nice.
It was
I enjoyed every part of it.
It was a great thing of two worlds coming together. That Venn diagram of where we overlapped. Their love for their team, our love for our team. It overlapped. It was friendly. It was fun.
Super friendly and fun.
It was cool.
There are moments that I really love living in a smaller town. And there were a couple of those moments, small town moments last night when the guy was singing the national anthem. The lady behind
Vanessa. Hey, everyone. Just stopping by and to say hi. Games again today. Enjoy your day. And then it says, when do you not play games, Vanessa?
She's always playing.
That's funny. Well, we'll see you later, Vanessa. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
I like moments that remind me I'm in a small town. And as the person was singing the national anthem, the lady behind me, who's our friend, is like, it's Big Jake. I can't believe we see Big Jake again. I haven't seen him in a year and a half. We thought he moved away. And he sang the national anthem and just knocked our socks off. And then she's like, and the guy in the penalty box, Leroy, it's his birthday today. Like, it felt real small town.
Yeah.
I liked it. But yet, the crowd made it feel big town. Like, it was nice.
Blake says, sometimes you just have to admit another team is better than yours, but most people don't like that. Well, here's the thing.
Oh, no. We've had games where I'm like, oh, they outplayed us.
We are the number 4 seed.
Yes.
Kelowna is the number 5 seed.
Right. So
there is exactly 1 point difference between our team and our team coming into the playoffs.
So it could go
is probably, and if you carry out their stats, they had more goals for, and we had less goals for. We had more goals against. They had less goals against. So your insinuation plays out. They are probably on paper a better team. In person, they're a bigger team. They're larger than we are, and they tend to play more physical than we do because of that dynamic. A smaller team usually relies a little bit more on finesse than on physicality. Kelowna, they have more of that. They have players that can be finesse and quick and good puck handling and all that kind of stuff. But they're also big dudes. So they're more physical. Which also Connor Geeky found out in the World Juniors when he absolutely slammed a guy with a totally legal hit, but because the guy was like a foot and a half shorter than he was, it looked like he was headhunting him because Connor was just going in for a regular check, but the guy's head's right here.
So he just flattened him.
And he flattened him and drew a lot of ire from the World Juniors watchership or audience or whatever. But it was a legal hit. He got called for it, but it was, so that's one of the things that I'm talking about. If you're a bigger team playing a smaller team, some of those hard hits are probably going to get called, but they didn't get called against us or against Kelowna. Some of those big hits, it took Kenta getting hurt for them to call a tighter game. And that shouldn't happen. Players shouldn't have to get hurt for the refs to start calling a game correctly.
No. But I think what Blake was saying is sometimes teams play better than you. We've had many a game where I'm like, oh, they just outplayed us.
Oh, yeah.
And that doesn't make us mad at all or upset. They outplayed us. We didn't,
But yeah, this is a pretty even matchup. But literally, it has been a battle against not just the other team on the ice. It's been a battle against the refs as well, and it just hasn't been going both ways. And I know this is anecdotal, but the people from Kelowna that we've been, sitting next to for the last 3 games here and home,
They said the same
they've
thing.
been saying the same
wow.
thing. They've been saying the same thing. The officiating just is off the
They
charts.
said this is just unbelievable.
So
I like the fact that they play the Imperial March at the Everett games when the refs come out. We should
legal.
tell our crew
Yeah.
to start doing that.
Yep. I don't do sports. I mean, is it really volleyball when there's only one ball? A volley implies a hailstorm of balls. Does it? I don't know that volley.
And then there's live.
I'm going away from this.
Why?
Because I need to see what volley means.
Aye.
I gotta look this up.
Um,
Oh, it does say a number of bullets or other projectiles just charged at one time. In sports, a strike or kick of the ball made before it touches the ground. So the word volley means that you're going to be volleying it back and forth, not allowing it to touch the ground. It doesn't have to be multiple projectiles. So, in your face, David. It's a hailstorm if you get a ball spiked in your face. Yeah, got that right.
yeah, you got to come back from hockey, though. We got to come back. Get back on track.
On tack?
Track. I said track.
You did not.
I did.
You didn't. Let us know if she said tack or track, because it's 30-second delay. Yeah. I've been to a few Seattle Thunderbird games. When the refs come out, it plays the Imperial March.
Yeah, that's appropriate. I think we need to do that.
And Kent, not Spokane. Yeah. Yeah, Spokane is the Chiefs. Everett.
Thunderbirds. No, Everett
no.
Silvertips.
Silvertips. No, Seattle Thunderbirds.
Seattle Thunderbirds. Everett Silvertips.
Live? You keep using that word. I don't think that word means what you think it means.
That's what I was asking about our live. Why do we not say? Is it about?
You have to say that phrase correctly. You keep on using that word. I do not think it means what you think it means. How old are these players? Bushman asks. Bushman, they
19?
are anywhere from 19 to 20.
18 to 20.
18 to 20. They age out of our league when they get to 20. So they're kids.
They're just
They're
kids.
basically seniors in high school.
Yep, they're the same age as my daughter, basically.
That's what junior high is. BCHL, the league that the Wenatchee Wild used to be in, was just under that.
Yeah,
it was,
16,
I believe,
17.
17 to 19.
Right.
And
This is like 18 to 20.
and this is 18 to 20. Yep. And
They're just kids.
I think if you sign a contract with the WHL, you can no longer go to college. I don't think you can play college hockey anymore. I think I heard that somewhere.
I don't know.
You make yourself ineligible to play college hockey if you sign with a WHL, because at that point you've gone pro. Even though you're still low end of professional, you're still professional. If you're in the BCHL though,
You can go on to
you can
college.
still go on to college. At least Sam is giving us time to finish brewing the coffee. There you go. I'm
I
here to
know.
help.
Hey, we got to get it back on track
I'm
here.
here to
I'm
help.
sorry.
No,
He was
I'm-
just
I'm-
all.
I'm here to help. I'm here to help. I'm here to help.
But after the hockey game, we had to pick up the kids from their trip to Disney, and
Well, the game got over at 10 o'clock.
so I
Aiden
dashed
was already here
Sam
home.
back home. So
Dropped
Sam,
me off,
and then
and
dashed
then they had to
back.
be picked up at 10:30. So it was like,
It was an in and out trip.
Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah, it was.
And expletive chants were being done by parents, I'm assuming.
Oh,
Well, again, these are not these are men. They on the ice, they are men. They are professional hockey players.
Right.
They're in junior hockey, don't get me wrong, but no, A lot of the people in the stands are just fans. So much so that there are many billet families here in the valley that house these players during the season. So no, this is not like this isn't like bantam hockey or anything like that. This isn't like, you know, little kids playing on the ice. No. This is professional hockey, but it's junior level. I think it's 2 steps below the NHL. That's what it is. One of our players, our captain, Graham Sword, he's aging out this year. He won't be back next year, but he's signed with the Colorado Avalanche. And that's where he's going to be playing next year, I believe. So that's how close to the NHL this is. My bad. I must have paused the stream and not noticed.
Oh, well, clearly we were having
Liberation Game Design is here. Hello. Okay, re-listened, and it was indeed tack. I told you. No. Tack. Got him.
I think there was an R there. It was just a very fast R.
Nope. Not correct. I wear the hat of shame. No shame.
No, I mess up all the time.
Michael Joseph is here. Have you guys got Galactic Resistance tabled yet? No. Right after JT got Galactic Resistance, he went off to Adam, and this week for him has been quite...
He's been working hard.
The harrowing ordeal at work. That's why he wasn't part of the stream yesterday. Usually he works 4 10s and then he's off on Fridays and he comes and streams with us.
6 10s this week.
I think, he's been working he's having some trouble with some different peeps at his work, I think. I don't know anything about it. He just said from what little he told me, it's been a little bit of a week for him. So we have not had time to get Galactic Resistance to the table yet, no.
But we do have 4 people home today, and maybe we can play a game. Maybe we can play a 4-person game.
Yeah, maybe so. Thought these were juveniles. No, they are not. No,
well, they're still, they're still kids. They're 18 and 19.
No.
18, 19, and 20. 18, that's just the babies, 20. You know.
Well, they're
I know they're grown men, but they're
from high school.
Yes.
They're out.
I get it, but
adults.
They're still just kids. But yes, they're not like kids, but they're the same as my kids.
Double speed. I'm caught up now.
That's how I speak all the time.
Yeah, there's a lot of truth to that statement. Are they associated with Minnesota? I don't think so,
No.
Tom. I don't think they are associated with Minnesota Wild. They're not that close.
No.
I don't. Well, here's the thing. I don't know the hierarchy of how the farm systems are set up.
Right.
I don't know because I don't think it's like baseball where you have this town over here that's a feeder to this town that's a feeder to the Major League Baseball. I don't think that's how it works. It could be. I just don't know how the hierarchy is set up. I had to stay late at work last night, deep cleaning.
Ugh.
Oh, at a pizza joint. Ugh.
Sorry.
That sounds disgusting. Age Rock Rue says, we have a WHL team in my city, the Medicine Hat Tigers. Yeah, I've heard of Medicine Hat before. Tom says AHL is the next step up from WHL. Yep, that is correct. And I think AHL teams are affiliated with an NHL team. But I don't think WHL teams are. But I could be wrong. I think AHL is where the affiliation programs start. So if you get, like for example, Graham Sword might not be actually playing for the Avalanche proper next year. He might be playing for their AHL affiliate so that he can be called up at any time. I know Pittsburgh has an AHL team and a WHL team. Well, there you have it. I don't have any idea how the hierarchy is set up. I can't say that enough. Blake Cavaney says, my high school overlooks Cheney Stadium where the Tacoma Rainiers play. Sorry. In my defense, he wrote Rainers, the minor league affiliate of the Mariners, the Nailers, and the Baby Pens. I guess those are the two teams that are affiliated with the Penguins.
Well, the Baby Pens make sense.
But anyway, let's see what else we're going to have a video coming up later on today that JT put together, and he did all the editing and put it up himself,
Nice.
uploaded it himself. I've given him editorial, credentials for the channel, so he edited it, put it up himself. I just have to put up a thumbnail for it, and we'll make that live this afternoon.
Cool.
So that'll be a reposting or a rehashing of the Adam event from JT. It's about a 26-minute video, so it shouldn't be too long to take a look at. He had a blast at the Adam event, so it'll be a cool watch to see him kind of explain how that event went and kind of gush a little bit, because I know he had a great time.
That's awesome.
Tom says, I think the WHL team only has a few players in Penguins organization, though. Yeah. Editorial credentials. Well, yeah, I think that's what they're called. Basically I gave him the ability to be an editor on the channel. I gave him the credentials he needed to be an editor. I think that's how it's called. I don't know. That's just what came out of my mouth. It makes sense, I think. Anyway, that's coming up.
We have a game night this week on Friday.
Yep.
I tried to say that before.
Next Friday we have.
This coming Friday, the 12th.
Yeah,
Not
from yesterday, next Friday, yes. A week from yesterday.
this Friday. It is not yesterday.
Correct, a week from yesterday.
This guy.
Next Friday is what you should be saying.
Well, next Friday is the 19th.
No.
This Friday is the 12th.
Next Friday is the 12th.
Either way. April 12th from 5 to 9 p.m.
2024.
See? Even she said so.
Fine. We have that coming up in less than 6 days. You haven't been talking about it on your channel. You haven't been telling about it. You haven't been posting about it. So I'm nagging you to do that. You have game night next week.
You're not nagging me. You're just doing my work for me. That's all.
Well.
Next Friday means the Friday coming up. That's what I just said. I said next Friday.
Yeah, but it's also this Friday because it's this week. It's within this 7 days.
It's actually not
period.
this week yet.
It's within 7 days.
Because we're in the last day of this week.
Is it within 7 days?
Tomorrow starts the next week.
Are we within that 7 day period from game night?
You can't do that. Because it's a week. Here, I'll get a visual aid.
Right all the time.
I need to get a visual aid.
Stop being right all the time. And now he's going to prove to everyone how stupid I am.
No, that's not what I'm doing.
We argue about this and next all the time.
So
We've already done this. We've done this with them. And Kabuki said specifically, it drives her crazy, the whole argument about this and next.
Sunday to Saturday.
Yes.
That's a week.
Yes.
Right. So.
But how many days are in a week?
If we're here on Saturday, what is this? The 6th. Yeah. If we're here on Saturday, and we start talking about this Friday, we're actually talking about this one.
That would have been last Friday or yesterday.
You're correct. Yes, last Friday is correct but technically last Friday, because we're still in this week, last Friday would be the one that was up here.
We would just say yesterday.
Yes, we would. We would just say yesterday. But we can't say this Friday talking about this one.
How many days are in a week?
There's 7. And they go from Sunday to Saturday.
So if you take a vacation from Tuesday to Tuesday,
yes,
and it's a whole week vacation.
Correct. It's a week-long vacation.
Okay.
But it's not, it spans 2 weeks.
Right.
But it's only a week long because a week is 7 days.
Right. So a week is 7 days.
That's correct.
So
From
this
here to
Friday
here,
is here.
From here to here, yes. A week is, yes, this is 1 week.
But so is this.
But when
this is
we're
1
talking
week.
about Friday, next week,
I hate this argument.
we have to go.
Stop.
Oh no, I just broke everything.
I would like him to pull out his calendar again and show you the rest of April that he hasn't filled in yet.
Technically, Nuno, the work week starts on Monday.
Oh, see?
And that even is only a generalization. The work week begins, if you work on Sunday, then your work week begins on Sunday. But generally, and even still, we have so many different caveats about all of this. It's really stupid to argue about it. I was being stupid.
He was just
on
being
purpose.
silly. Not being stupid. He's just being silly.
Saturday and Sunday are considered the weekend. They really aren't. The week definitely starts on Sunday and goes till Saturday. So technically, Saturday is the weekend. Sunday is the beginning of the week, start, right?
Well, I don't like that because then that means my weekend is only 1 day long. So I would rather not have that.
Yeah, exactly. Sunday starts the week, Saturday ends the week. That is correct.
And in the middle of the game last night, to add to the game stress, I got a message from Daphne's coach, who they have landed in the airport. Like, they've flown back. They're back in Washington State. Daphne's coach calls me and goes, just to let you know, Daphne fainted on the airplane and fainted at the airport at
I
Pangorn.
believe passed out is the
Passed
words
out.
they use.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the word you used.
That's the words they use, but I think it's really more of a feint because she blacked in. And so then I was trying to, like, not get stressed about that in the middle of the game. And I was also trying to, like, be 6 steps ahead. I almost gave myself a headache last night because I was like, okay, if they have to take her to the nearest hospital, the nearest one is there. I can't get Sam home. I got to get to the, like, I was already like 6 steps out down a negative path of, oh, my kids.
Yep. Push me go. Here we go again.
I know. That's why I said stop talking about this. We've already covered this on this channel. Stop. We've talked about hockey.
Well,
We've
apparently,
talked about this and that.
enough
Why
people
don't you talk
haven't
about-
learned the right thing yet.
I'm never going to change. Why don't you talk about what the back? Oh, my goodness.
All right, so, actually, Blake had a pretty neat point. That's why they're called weekends, because it's on either side. So it's like bookends.
That makes sense.
Sunday is one end,
And the other one is the other. Okay.
So that's why it's called, but that's not, why do people call it the weekend then? Because that's how it's, I'm looking forward to the weekend. Well, why do they say that? Because it's not one end. It's an end and a beginning. It's 2 ends like that, yes, but why do they call it as one end? Maybe it's because they're looking forward to that particular
I don't
end.
know. I think the grammar logic here is making my brain hurt.
I don't think there is any more logic in English. Solo board gaming night is just laughing. Does that mean JT will be able to put Ace behind his name? Ace?
A
Ace?
engineering, no, a
Oh, ACE. That would mean. I have no
credentialed.
idea. Oh, that's like
editor.
a movie industry editor thing title.
That's cool.
No, he cannot. We don't make we don't make enough money for that. I can't afford to pay him any titles.
He can add anything he wants to his name. We just can't.
I think I need a coffee now, Nuno says. Let's talk about leap year now. No.
I didn't love leap year.
What happens
I
if
got a
you're born
ticket.
on February 29th? You age much slower than everybody else.
Well, it is true. Now, I've known people that are born on February 29th, and they say that legally they're still, they are still 16 years old, even though they've only had 4 birthdays.
No. Legal. Well, yeah. Well, that's the thing.
They say you are 16 years old.
Your birthday. No, I know, but
They don't really say you are
it's
only
cheeky.
4, but
it's
it is.
cheeky to say I've only had 4 birthdays.
Yes.
It's cheeky because your birthday is the day after February 28th.
Right,
Period. Hard stop. End of discussion.
right.
So you've had a birthday every year. It's the year after February 28th. Just every fourth year, you actually get the namesake day, the 29th, that you were born on. But your birthday is the day after February 28th. American Cinematic Editor. No, because this isn't cinema. This is just YouTube. Let's see here. Actually, for me, work. See, I saw this. Actually, my work week starts on Tuesdays.
Nice.
That's because your HR department are crazy. Solo board gaming night. What happens if you're born on? Okay, we already read that. The week starts on Monday. Sunday is the last day, the day of rest. Maybe. In school, we're taught the days of the weeks. You always start with Sunday and end with Saturday. Hence, why Sunday starts the week, because you say it first. Yeah, sure. The set of bookends. Also, I can't believe I just used hence. Now you're old like us.
That was funny.
Such interesting philosophy about weekends, Liberation Game Design says. Nuno Rebello, God rested on the 8th day, which is Sunday. That is why it is the religious day. I don't know nothing about no 8th day.
That's the 7th day.
So March 1st. Sure. For those years in which March 1st falls after February 28th, yes. A pair of pants. Does anyone ever wear just one pant? No, you call it a pair of pants because a pair of pants has two legs. It's also why they're called shorts, plural, because it has two legs, not just...
I think it's just the word.
Yeah, because it has two pants.
I think it's just the word.
You don't wear one short. You wear a short skirt because it has what? Only one hole at the bottom, right? But pants or shorts have two holes at the bottom, so they're plural.
Jesse's making the confused face again.
Actually, designers do say pant. If you ever watch Project Runway, they say pant. Well, that's because they're kind of... the rest of the world who haven't, lost their minds say pants.
But it's a pantsuit.
Board game channel? Question mark.
I'm trying to get him back on task, you guys.
Okay, fine. Let's get back. Segue. Here's a good segue. We'll get us back on track. I saw this picture, and it's amazing, so I want to share it with you all.
I can't see it.
It's a pogo stick with a plunger on the bottom of it, and it says, for when it gets real. I love it! And that's the segue for us to come back to Pecunio non ole. See, we're back to board games. Isn't that awesome?
That was not a segue.
That was a segue. I got us back on track. We're talking about board games now.
Okay, let's
the
do
poop
that.
game
What do we got going on this week?
Awesome. Is that your bathroom? No, it is not our bathroom.
If he has a pogo stick plunger in our bathroom, we have more problems than we can talk
don't have
about.
a pogo stick plunger. We do have teenagers, which denotes that we could possibly use pogo stick plungers. But segue from Project Runway, yes, to Pret-a-Porter, which is, yes, another board game. See? Multiple segues are happening right now.
Yes.
Now I just need a picture of a segue. That would be awesome, but I don't have one. I didn't download it. That pogo stick will destroy your pipes.
And your feet get all wet.
Or your pipes are already destroyed, and that's just going to clear them.
And your shoes get wet.
Oh, that's gross.
Well, I'm just saying.
Our employee bathroom at work has been broken for over a year. We have to go next door to use the bathroom.
Blech.
That is a landlord issue. You need to go talk to the person that owns your building and get them to fix that. That's actually against code. They are not, as the landlord, allowed to keep that, to not fix that. They have to fix that. That's not cool.
That's super not cool.
They have to replace the pipes, but the property owner doesn't want to do it.
Oh, that's lame. That's lame.
That's not okay. That's not okay.
But on the other side of the coin, if they have to replace the pipes, they're going to have to shut the building down, and Blake won't have a job during that time.
They're dragging their feet. We
Yeah.
know this, yes. Solo board game out there secretly attempting to reduce bathroom breaks.
I mean, that is a
No.
great way to do it.
Actually, it's not, because you're making bathroom breaks longer because
you
they
have
have
to
to
go
leave
across
the
the street.
premises to go do your business and then come back. So it takes longer. That's
We have had a couple.
our CEO has been talking with them about it. Good.
We've
He's
had
doing
a
his
couple
job.
of stressful weeks at work, and there are normally 10 of us in my building, and there have been days where I've had four call-outs, and I was on the phone with the person of the fifth who was about to call out, and I'm begging them not to call out. But because of that, we are frequently, as teachers, going,
I would
"Can
like to
somebody
get back
please-"
to board games, please.
Well,
Can you
anytime.
Please talk to board about
Tell us
board
what we're
games,
doing this
please.
week.
Bushman's like, and now potties.
Sam is on a roll today.
I am. We've had a week. And this is a little bit of a release.
It is.
So it's all good. I actually have a medical condition, so for me it sucks.
Oh, yeah,
it does.
that super sucks.
Someone get Adderall for the channel.
Seriously, I don't know what Sam had for breakfast this morning. No more Easter ham.
You cooked it.
I did. I made Easter ham, leftover Easter ham, and scrambled eggs.
And then I put the jalapeno Tabasco.
Maybe
on
that's
it.
what it is. The green pepper Tabasco. That's what it is.
Jalapeno Tabasco, which is the only Tabasco that I enjoy. And
I also made banana bread.
I didn't have any of that. You didn't bring me any.
Do you want a piece?
No, not right now. I noticed you skipped my question. I'll go
Oh,
back.
no. What did you
I'll
do?
Go back.
See?
Is that your bathroom? See, that's the question he asked.
No, my bathroom is not that.
That's
No,
not-
he had another question.
I know. I'm just giving because
Oh
I
my
did mention
gosh.
that
I was like,
one.
no. I swear.
He said, so I'll help Jessie here. What was the best game you played this past week?
Thank you.
Well, what past week are you talking
Oh,
about?
shush. Stop. I'm not even going there. I really enjoyed Stone Age.
Yes.
That was fun. Actually, I kind of like Colorfield. That was a nice. It was a nice game that
Okay,
didn't
so
have
you
a lot of
so
thought
we
behind it.
You and I played 1, 2, 3, 4. We played
Yes.
4 games this week.
Yes.
So put them in order. We played, and this is no order. I'll just go backwards. We played Colorfield and French Quarter. Then we also played Stone Age, and we also played Commissioned. So put those in order. And
need
they
to
were
see-
all first experiences, so this is a first impression type thing.
Right. Can we see Commissioned again?
Commissioned
Is it
is the
visual?
one where it's this one right here, up there. Commissioned. Remember?
Yeah,
Where
no, I remember on
where
Monday,
you played
but I
Paul and I played
Oh,
Barnabas.
yeah. I was talking to him.
So put them in order.
I would say Stone Age is the first one that I like. I like that one the most.
Okay.
And then Colorfield, because it was super easy. I didn't have to think.
Stone Age is number 1. Colorfield is number 2.
Commissioned
Commissioned is number 3.
and French Quarter.
And then French Quarter. French Quarter did have some wonky stuff in it. It had
It
some
was
wonky
just,
stuff.
as a first time to play, we both said, okay, we got to play this again. Like, we need to
Yeah,
play this again.
absolutely.
And I think playing it again, I'll be like, okay, this is not so complicated. I don't need to get in my head. It's fine. It's easy. But the first time I was like,
It had that feeling of that you know
Thank you, Tom.
the picture of like a pegboard, a conspiracy theory pegboard that
Sure.
has pictures everywhere and yarn stretched around everything. That's a good descriptor of how it felt yesterday, because this affects this over here, but this isn't affected this. This affects by this over here, and then this over here affects this over here, and it's just this thing of I have to do this in order to do this and this, which will allow me to do this, this, and this.
It was hard because I know I was making the face. I know online I'm not supposed to make the face. I was making the face because I'm like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So I would say that's how I would rank what we played, but I enjoyed last week because we did get 4 games in, and that made me happy.
Yeah.
To be able to play 4 games with you.
Yeah. It was good. It was good. Sam, Memoir 44 or Undaunted? I'll go with Memoir 44 right off the bat, just because I have the more experience with it. I have played Undaunted, but I haven't played it as much as I have played Memoir 44. Memoir 44 is my favorite of those two by far and away, but I do enjoy Undaunted. It's just I haven't played it as much. Our building has 5 suites. On either side of us is empty. Then after that, it's an eyelash place and then a hair salon. So there you have it. Interesting. Liberation Game Design sounds like a good breakfast. It was a good breakfast. It was a very good breakfast.
I got up.
She does very well.
I got up and made everybody a nice hot breakfast before they got up. And made banana bread.
Lady, we're talking about board games here. Can you get back on track, please? Or rather on tack.
I had to feed my gamers. If the gamers aren't fed, have you ever been to a convention? If the gamers aren't fed, people get spicy.
Colorfield looked fun, Nuno says.
Yeah, it was fun.
Solo Board Gaming Night says, for me, Resident Evil, the board game, very faithful to the source material. I also played Heat. So he's asking the question of what was your favorite game of the week? Resident Evil, Tim says, is it a dungeon crawl? From what JT has told me, it is not a dungeon crawl. It is. I haven't played it. But from JT says that it's not really a dungeon crawl. I think that's what he said. It may or may not have been on a list recently. # spoilers. I know that you can play more players with 44. You can play more players with Memoir 44, but that's not why I like it better than Undaunted. Undaunted, I believe, is just a 2-player game, but you can play up to 8 with Memoir 44. But that's kind of a misnomer because you can't play up to 8 with just a base game. You can if you have the Overlord expansion, but you have to use a whole bunch of counters to do that. You have to have basically, at the very least, I think you have to have 2 copies of the base game and the expansion. Well, not necessarily the expansion, but the expansion gives you the scenarios that you can play, but you can find a lot of them online now anyway. But you have to have at least 2 base copies of Memoir 44 in order to play Overlord. I think they have some paper map expansions as well for the Overlord stuff. But it's kind of a misnomer that you can go up to 8. You can really only play 2 players with Memoir 44. Generally speaking, you have to have a whole lot of other stuff in order to play it with more than 2.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, Solo Board Game Night says, yes, it is a dungeon crawler. Okay. Maybe I'm misremembering what JT said. I don't know. I've never played those games, Tim, but have been hearing Sam speaking of Memoir, so I'm curious about the game. There you go. Memoir is card-driven like Undaunted. That is correct, yes. I have Resi on my shelf of shame, Nuno says. If you're a fan of the games, you'll really enjoy it. Even if you haven't played them, it's fun. LOL, I will not go into shelf of shame, Tim says. Memoir 44, what happened to 1 through 43? Blake. That was just silly.
Blake is silly.
I'm joking. I know what it is. No. Food is good, Bushman says. Tom says, I like both. They play different enough that you could have both in a collection. That is true.
Nice.
It's an exploration-based dungeon crawl. Okay, well, maybe JT just doesn't see it the same way. Or maybe I'm just misremembering what he said. We tried Resident Evil, and for us, it was bad.
Oh, dear.
Mechanics were awful, Brad DeMond says. Interesting. Well, I know that JT was a huge fan of the video game, so maybe that pulls in some of it, some of his liking of it, but I know he really enjoys it. For exactly 8 players, Memoir 44 or Captain Sonar. For me, Memoir 44, hands down. I enjoy Captain Sonar, but it's a completely different game experience. Captain Sonar, you basically have, there are 4 stations on each side of the table. One is the captain, one is the helmsman, one is the weapons expert, and another, I don't even know what the 4th person's doing. And each of those things plays differently. And there's some, if I remember correctly, there's restrictions on how you can communicate, when you can communicate, and all of this kind of stuff. And it's very much more of a social experiment than it is a game. It is a game, don't get me wrong, but it has that social experiment in it where you have to communicate. You can't just sit and do your part. You have to get out there and you have what? How do you do these things? How did you get something on the eyebrow? Anyway.
I'm very talented at making a mess.
Yeah, we found spaghetti sauce on the wall in the kitchen.
Very talented at making messes.
I have no idea how it got there.
I made banana bread. I didn't even use spaghetti sauce, I swear.
No, it was already dried. It's been there for a few days. Or at least a day.
Very talented at making messes.
My thing is that it happened yesterday because she made these sausages. She split them open and she put a mozzarella cheese stick in. It was really good. But I think I have an allergy to tomatoes. We're kind of deducing.
Yeah, we're kind of.
So she didn't put tomato sauce on mine, but she put it on hers.
And there's tomato sauce
and there's tomato sauce on the wall.
And it's like above my head,
It is.
by the way.
It was above my head. So it's like, how did that get up there? I don't know.
I was called Messy Jessie my entire life.
I don't call her that.
He does not. But it's not that it's not true, because I am a bit messy.
Not a fan of the symbols on the cards. Okay, Brad. That's a fair assessment. I'm not a huge fan of symbols on cards either, unless they're intuitive, and there aren't a lot of them. I think it really works well compared to the video game. I can understand why you think that. How? What does Flight Plan like? Never played with it. I don't know. Oh, Flight Plan. Oh, for Memoir 44. Flight Plan is actually a really cool expansion, and I can actually pull it out and we can talk about it. Let's go ahead and do that. Boom. So Flight Plan is what he's talking about here. And it actually, they had an air pack, what was called an air pack, before they came out with the new Flight Plan. And the reason they call it the new Flight Plan is because it replaced the old air pack. Because the old air pack was really kind of boring. And what Flight Plan does is it brings in all of these air miniatures, these air minis. And they are really nice. First of all, so basically, and this will be like a really fast thing. You have these bases that have a little notch in the middle of them, and that notch is so that you can put in there these little tokens like that. So this means that what is on top of this is a bomber. That's the bomber token, and then you also have, where are they? You have, like, this is the Japanese one, but you have fighter tokens. Then you have the mid-range ones, tokens like this. But you have all of these things, and so that little dude fits in there. So maybe you will have, now it's gonna mess me up. I don't know. I know that's the American one. I think this is the British one. I think. Could be wrong, but the G4M, I think that's correct. Could be, no. Man, I can't remember. No, I don't think so. Anyway, the idea is that you have, this goes on top of here like this, and then this flies above, this will fly above the field as you're going along. And so you have a whole bunch of other cards that come into it, air rules, and you have special weapons that can come in and all this other kind of stuff. But there's a lot of different cards that come in. So basically you're given, each fighter comes with, I think, 6 of these ammo chips. And then bombers will come with a number of different bomber tokens as well. And they can, the way Air Pack was is that they could basically make a strafing run and then boom, they're out of the game again. Until you get another card that brings them back in. With the new flight plan, they actually become, as long as they're on the field, you can order them, give them orders, and have them do things while they're on the field, just like any other unit. So new flight plan is a lot better, in my opinion, than the Air Pack was. Air Pack was basically broken. It was cool because it had, I think it had painted miniatures. I could be wrong. These are not painted, of course, but they're good enough to paint. I will say that. But new flight plan to me is a great expansion. If you like Memoir 44 and you can get your hands on a copy of new flight plan, absolutely recommended, hands down. I do not need to say much more about that. Cool Memoir 44 expansion. Yes, it is. It is. It is. My area supervisor wanted to know how we got pizza sauce on the ceiling. Which is probably why you had to stay in deep clean last night. I would imagine why that happened. Let's see here. I bought Resi on Kickstarter because I am a fan of the video games and movies, not the live action ones. The animation ones are awesome. The miniatures look great in Resident Evil. That they do. We did an unboxing of JT's copy of Resident Evil a little bit back on here on the channel. You can go check that out. But there. Brad says, I want to get it to Memoir 44 so bad, but I know myself and would need to buy everything, so I guess I'll never get it.
Find someone that has it.
Not a fan of the color, but I intended on painting them. Same because of my OCD. I'm a completist when it comes to stuff, so sometimes the best choice is to buy nothing. Totally understand.
That's
that.
funny.
The figures in Resident Evil look awesome. The biggest problem with Memoir 44 is it's hard to find. It feels like it's out of print. It is hard to find.
Is it out of print?
No, I don't think it is, but I don't think they're... Well,
I messed something up. I can't put
the pack, this pack. Go ahead and put that down.
Put it down over here.
Yeah. And that can go inside. That lays flat, and then this kind of just goes over top of it, like that. There you go. If you do find some, they will be marked up on eBay. See, here's the thing. Don't buy stuff on eBay, because that's what people do. They sell things on eBay for what they want to get out of it, not for what it's worth.
Right. I have this conversation with my parents.
Yeah.
Oh, we have all this stuff in the basement, and it's worth so much money. I've looked it up on eBay.
It's not.
Well, it's only worth what people will pay.
Yep.
So my dad's like, oh, this Snow White ceramic set that your mom had from the 40s is, worth like $12,000. And I said, well, that's 1, a complete set, 2, an untouched set, 3, a non-chipped set, and 4, somebody has to buy it.
Somebody has $12,000 burning a hole in their pocket.
You can't just post it and expect to get $12,000. Nope. It's not how things work.
It could. It could. It absolutely could work out that way. But odds are, no, you're going to get somebody that's going to snipe. If you put it up for eBay, and they're going to try to snipe it for the lowest price possible.
Yep.
They're not going to.
But there are lots of game sites that sell things used that you would probably recommend.
Yes, there are, and I can't remember the one that I bought from. I bought Battlelore there, and I can't remember what the name of it is, but it's used stuff.
Well, there's a Facebook group in Seattle, Facebook Used Board Games, that for Seattle area, and I think that would probably be a better option.
It would, man, it would take. I have more Memoir 44 than I could actually use.
I know.
So.
Well, coming up
in
the future, when our subscription numbers get higher, we will be doing some culling.
Yep. We're going to be doing a culling, and we're going to be doing
giveaways, and
we're going to be doing giveaways. Our next big plateau, I think, is going to be 10,000. 10,000 subscribers, so we're already starting to put, we're 3,000 away.
So we're coming up with some plans.
Well, we're about 2,900 away because we've got about 100. We're like 7.09 of subscribers. So we've gotten, since we played War of the Ring, we've gotten about 90 more subscribers. Not bad, but so we're about 2,900 away from 10,000. When we hit 10,000, we're going to be doing a pretty large giveaway. We're going to do a cull, and we'll do a giveaway for that. And we're also going to do a 24-hour marathon. But we're saving that for 10,000. So the faster we get to 10,000, the quicker we'll have that big giveaway, and the quicker we will be able to do a 24-hour marathon.
So
it'll take me that long to figure out how I'm going to do a 24-hour marathon because I think I might have to be here the entire time and then have people come in to keep me awake and play games with me. So that's what we'll do. I want in on the cull.
I'm saying we will definitely be having things, but in order to get there, you got to tell your friends to subscribe to our channel. Tell your board game group. Tell your neighbors. Tell your neighbors' friends.
Yep.
We need to get a big push to get to that 3,000.
Yeah,
so tell your friends to subscribe to our channel.
And
then there will be a call.
much rather trade on BGG. That is true.
Yes,
That's another place you can find people on BGG that are wanting to trade away their copies, and you'll basically have to share your collection with them. So you do have to have your collection kind of entered into BGG in order to do this. But they'll look at you can mark things on your trade as willing to trade, on your collection as willing to trade, and all that kind of stuff. And they'll look at that and see if there's anything that you want to get rid of, and you have to look at theirs and see what they want to get rid of. And that's a good way to do stuff, because usually, I would imagine, I've done it before, and all of the people I've ever traded with have been very reputable people. Everything came packaged well, and, nothing was missing or anything like that. So that's a good way to do it. So that's a good thing. Do you like being back on the Dice Tower? Yes, I do. I think it's, I've said it before, it feels like kind of like a homecoming almost. Tom and the Dice Tower is pretty much the reason I got into doing content creation. Before that, it was just a hobby that I played games with Tom and stuff like that. But the Dice Tower is when it actually became kind of something that you did, kind of like a hobby within the hobby. So yeah, that's cool. Just looked. Several online retailers have Memoir 44 in stock.
Nice.
Yeah, it's not out of print, but it is
harder
to find than most. The other thing that happens on eBay is someone will offer an insane amount, like $23,000, but of course they can't pay it and have no intention to pay it. They just do it to screw with people. That is true.
I haven't used eBay in forever, and I'm grateful for that.
Yeah, I
stopped using it.
I used to use eBay, but I was one of the snipers. I always tried to get things for the lowest amount that I could. And I know people don't like that, but it's kind of what eBay kind of forces you to do. You want to inch up as much as you can until you win it. And then when you're winning it, you want to keep winning it until the last few seconds where somebody else is going to try to snipe you. And then you have to snipe them. And so you sit there for the last 5 minutes of an auction to try to get it for the lowest price possible. I mean, that's...
I haven't used it in 20 years.
Nuno says he buys a lot on eBay, mostly comic books.
Oh, nice.
Derek S. is here. Hello, Derek. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Brad Diamond says, War of the Ring, one of my favorite games. He said that because we were talking about, the Dune one, War for Arrakis. My brain would melt if I did 24 hours of games. No, it probably wouldn't. 24 hours is not that bad.
You were up 24 hours just a week ago. No, a week ago. You were up for almost 24 hours.
No, it was more like, no, it was like 12 hours. Because I got home at about 4 o'clock, and I got up at 3.
No, but there was one just a week or two before. Like, it was the travel day, the day that you came home. You were up for almost 24 hours.
Oh, maybe.
So.
Nah. I mean, being just up for 24 hours is a lot harder than playing games for 24 hours. Because with games, you have something to keep your mind engaged.
Yeah, I agree.
But if you're just like traveling or something like that, that's the worst. Because you're like, come on, I just want this over with.
Longest.
Bushman says, I'll subscribe 3,000 more times.
I wish it would work that way. But seriously, we do need...
Bushman, if you do that, and every single one of those subscriptions is a membership...
Or has a different email.
I'll send you a bunch of games, brother.
We'll get you all.
I don't know if it'll be a good deal on your end of things, but I'll send you a bunch of stuff. And of course, that's tongue-in-cheek. I'm not expecting one person to do all of that.
No, but it does help if you spread the word.
I'm naive. How does Tom get the chat questions on his screen? If it's a program he has, is it expensive? How does Tom get the chat screen? Oh. I don't know how he does that. It's not expensive. But I don't know. I don't think it's expensive. Let me put it that way. But I don't know how he does that. That's something I can look into.
Is that the blister?
No. It's the that's the thing that happened at Easter service. The other
You
day,
pinched your finger. That's
where
right.
I pinched my finger on something. Nuno says I'm an eBay sniper too. Yep, eBay is good for the very hard to find stuff. I can't find it. I know eBay has it. Well, more often than not. And then it depends on if it's in the condition that you want it in. Because you probably can't find a lot of stuff on eBay that's in mediocre condition. But usually I don't want mediocre condition stuff. I'll pay mediocre condition prices for stuff that's in better than mediocre condition, but I don't want mediocre condition stuff. Anyway. Have you noticed many people watching more of the top 5 after watching the bottom 5 on Dice Tower?
Yes.
Well,
I think so.
I don't know. Maybe. It blows my mind. And I know it's just you're casting a wider net when you put stuff up on the Dice Tower, but the bottom 5s on the Dice Tower get thousands of views, and our top 5 stuff only gets hundreds.
Yeah.
And it's just a wider net, and I get it, but it just blows my mind. It's literally
the same content.
The same kind of content. It's just you're casting a wider net by putting it up on the Dice Tower. That's just the way it is. And the other thing I've noticed is that casting that wider net, you catch a lot of the ne'er-do-wells. You catch a lot of ne'er-do-wells, much more ne'er-do-wells over there than I do over here. I can't believe the ire that I get. And again, it's not a whole lot of people. It's like, one person posts and then 10, 15, 20 people, thumb that. So it's at most it's 30 people, So I'm not worried about it. Out of 2,000.
After he started at Dice Tower.
Bottom 5.
He got somebody that was just
I'm not
hating
worried
on him.
Yeah, I'm not worried about all that.
And I was grateful that Tom, who as not only your friend, but as a boss, as somebody we know and trust, was like, psh, meh.
Yeah, don't listen to him.
Yeah, like stop.
cares?
And meanwhile, Sam was in kind of a tizzy. He was like, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't even do this.
I wasn't in a tizzy. I don't get into a tizzy. I get into a bad mood. Tizzies are like, that's not me. That's not how I do it. I will get stoic.
He was quite.
I will get stoic. And that's how she knows that I'm not in
And he also starts doubting himself.
Yeah, that's true.
I shouldn't do this. I shouldn't even be doing this.
Well, and the reason
this
is
person
because,
said this, and I was like, I don't care.
I don't want to pull them down. That's my
You're
thing.
not gonna pull them
that's
down.
That's my thing. I know, because I'm just one person.
But it's grateful to work. It's amazing to work for people like Tom and work with people like Tom who are great people.
Fee is here.
And go, nah, no stress.
Well, here's the thing. I'm kind of.
Yes. Sorry. Go back to that.
No,
Don't talk about
no,
anything else.
no,
Focus on that. Focus.
Let's see. Kabuki Kid is here. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. It's the shipping that kills a lot of secondhand purchases.
Oh,
That's true.
Yeah, shipping is ridiculous right now.
Shipping is ridiculous right now. Kabuki showed up. Hello, hello. Good to see you. Just joined in. Great to see you guys again. Hello, Doug. Good to see you too. Everybody says hello to everybody else. Depends on the game, I guess. Heavy thinking games, I couldn't do it for that long. He's talking about the...
Oh, no. We've already said they have to be light games.
Yeah, they're going to be lighter games. The heavier games we're not going to play on the 24-hour stream. Maybe one. But it's not going to be like a 4-hour game. And I mean, when I say heavier game, I'm talking like 3 hours max. And I mean max. But yeah, they have to be kind of lighter games, because if you engage in a intellectual enterprise like that and you try to cram too much heavy stuff into it, it just becomes a slog. And then it's not fun to watch, because you're literally watching people suffer.
Like me on most of the games.
No, that's not true. Tim Prince says, I came and subscribed here because of seeing you on the Dice Tower. I'm really enjoying the top 5 with you and JT. Thank you.
Glad.
I appreciate that. Much of the ire the only ire that I'm getting from it is based on the title. Bottom 5. Everybody thinks, when they see the title, when they see the thumbnail, everybody thinks it's the worst 5 games in that category that we think are the worst 5 games of that year. Here's the thing. There's no way I'm going to make a title like that. And there's no way I'm going to make a list like that. Because to make a negative list like that...
Yeah, that's a very negative
You
focus.
have to play as many games from that year as possible. You have to. Because you're putting a negative thing
and
saying that these are the worst 5 games of that year. You better know your stuff backwards and forwards and have a lot of research to back up a negative comment like that.
Right. And the other thing is we kind of like to focus on positive here on the flip side.
Absolutely.
We're not really negative based, so I don't want to know, oh my gosh, this is so terrible because of this and this and this. That's very naggy, nasty.
I would much rather point you to the top 5 games or the top 10 games that I think the best games of that year for me. I would much rather do that than point you towards the worst 5. Mm-hmm. Why would I tell you the worst 5 games? That makes no sense to me.
All it does is make you be negative, the people watching it be negative.
So when I tell you that I'm doing the bottom 5 of something, you should automatically assume it's not the worst 5.
It's not a negative.
And I can't tell you how many times I've explained this to people in the comment sections, at the beginning of the video, and we still get, well, I still think that's a stupid name. I still think that's clickbaity, and it kind of is, but it's tongue-in-cheek clickbaiting. It's not like I'm telling you, number 3 is can't wait for number 3 to show up. I'm not doing that. I'm just giving it a cheeky title, bottom 5. It's the bottom half of my top 10. So it's the bottom 5. And we're going to give you the other top 5. It's a spin on the whole
Flipside.
It's a whole top 10 thing. That's all it is.
Kind of the whole thing.
And
Flipside.
people lose their minds over this. And I'm like, this week it's, I can't believe the Dice Tower would allow this to happen. That was the first thing I did.
Ask
Tom.
And he said, yeah.
I said, listen, this is what I want to do. I want to do a bottom half of the top 10 on Fridays on the Dice Tower as one of my 2 videos for the week, and I want to do we'll put the top 5 on the flip side. He's like, yep, go with it. And I said, I want to call it the bottom 5. I want to call the other one the top 5. Yep, go with it. That was the first thing I did.
Yeah.
Oh, but I can't believe the Dice Tower would allow such clickbaity things on the Dice Tower. They're slipping. You know, I mean, it's like, come on. Jeez Louise.
You got him all fired up again.
Anywho,
all right, focus.
Anywho, let's see here.
He's terrible.
Yes, I am. Would it help if the top 5 went up at the same time as the bottom 5 so they could immediately watch to your channel and watch there? Sam, never make that noise again. I won't,
What
Blake.
was the noise?
The tizzy. Then he says, also, I hope someone clipped that.
You know what it reminded me of?
Whenever I think of tizzy,
the Fifth Element.
Yes, I think of that. I think of Chris Tucker's character in The Fifth Element. That's a tizzy.
You just promised Blake you would never make that noise
That was a
again.
different noise. Would it help if the top 5 went up at the same time as the bottom 5? I don't think so, because they would still be 2 different videos, and not everybody that's being caught in the net on the Dice Tower is going to come watch the top 5 on the flip side anyway. At the end of the day, people can't endlessly or eternally add more content streams to their intake.
Many things I try to
You
follow.
have to you can't squeeze everything in. So I'm not going to catch everybody from the Dice Tower to come over to the flip side. It's not going to happen. So maybe it would help, but I don't think it will. Now, what I am doing is I'm trying to get the top 5 uploaded and scheduled by the time the bottom 5
airs.
goes up, so
Yeah.
that the link can be there,
Right.
but it won't be an active link until Monday.
Right.
So that's the best I can do. But no, I don't think so, Tom. That's a good idea, but I don't think it would work. Plus, when the bottom 5 goes up on Wednesdays, we're doing live streams on the flip side. So I don't want to cannibalize myself. Let's see here. I used to watch a lot of Dice Tower content until Sam left. There are a lot of top 10s that I watch multiple times. Best lines are from Sam. Thank you.
He's funny.
People, enough to make you pull your hair out. Oh, sorry.
True.
Certainly have. Sam, I did not understand your casting analogy. Casting a larger net on nerd something. Oh, casting a larger net, that's all I mean by that is that my videos cast a larger net on the Dice Tower because the pool is larger.
There are more
There's
followers.
335,000 subscribers on the Dice Tower. I have 7,000 subscribers here on the flip side. So when I cast the net or upload a video on the Dice Tower, there's the potential to catch a larger haul of fish over there. If I cast the same net over here on the flip side, it's a smaller group of fish, so there's going to be a smaller number of fish caught. That's all I meant. So hopefully that makes sense now. Bottom 5 is a play on words. I get it. That's exactly what it is. Sam, you should cast your videos on the right side of the computer. That's a New Testament reference. Cast your net on the other side of the boat. And there was a huge haul.
And there was a huge haul.
We love you, Sam and Jess. Karen, thank you for being here. Haters hate sunshine. That is correct.
Right. I have a lot of haters.
I love the bottom 5 title. I don't get why folks don't see the humor in that. Well, it's, again, I say it all the time. JT hates this expression, apparently. He told me this one time. But different strokes for different folks.
Oh, yeah, he said that.
He
He's
hates that.
like,
He's
I
like,
hate that.
man, I hate that. I was like, well, it's true.
I think what he means is we all just like our own things.
Yep. Bottom 5 makes sense if you think about it. Most people don't think. If you did a
There's a
video
lot of
about
that.
worst 5, no one would have heard of any of them.
Right, and
probably
it's
true.
all a negative thing. Like it would all be, oh, I dislike this.
Or
and
it's
I
me
dislike
that's
this,
just trying to
and
make a controversial video so that more people
Right,
get
riled up.
get
and-
riled up about it, which
yeah.
is clickbait.
Yeah.
So I see that's my thing. They're accusing me of being clickbaity for just doing a play on words, when actually if I were to post a worst 5, that's more clickbaity in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, oh, come watch me sling the mud at people.
Right.
Because I
Super
think
negative.
that's funny.
Ugh.
No, I'm not going to do that. Let's see here. Clickbait is what you want. No, it's not. Isn't that how books are sold? Not really. Clickbait for books?
Right. I'm confused.
To be fair, if you added of the top 10 to the title, you would have saved yourself a lot of explaining, still talking about it. I think it's funny now, more than anything.
I think you just leave it as is.
I think it's hilarious that people still get worked up over this. This is the 6th week now that we've done. Well, we started in 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011, and we also did Lucky Games, and we've also done post-apocalyptic games. So next week will have been the 6. No, we have already done 6 because post-apocalyptic just went up. Now we are working on top 10 nature games. So that's going to be the 7th, which will go up on not next Friday, but next Sunday, because they're doing a 36-hour marathon on the Dice Tower this coming week. So this is now a month and a half we've been putting these up, and people are still crying about it.
Let them go.
It just doesn't make sense. Anyway, people just like seeing the negative and drama. I know. I don't want to. I don't want to.
We don't really participate.
I'm not going to be part of that. The phrase, the term that I've adopted now from a Theocracy song is called tragedy vampires. I will not be a tragedy vampire. I'm not going to post. I'm not going to talk about other people's negative stuff. Yeah. If I don't like a game, I'll tell you, but then I'll tell you what I do like about it. And I'll tell you what you might like about it. I'm not going to focus on the negative, even if it's negative from my point of view. It's just not my jam anymore. Wait, what sound, Sam? Do it, please. No, I'm not going to do it anymore.
Who asked that question?
Nuno.
He didn't see the part about the tizzy,
Yeah,
didn't he?
he went back. He went back. Blake has to go to work. See you later, Blake. Sling that dough, bro. I respectfully disagree. It would help to have them both lists posted at the same time. Sometimes I have a favorite game from 20-something, and I'm watching to see if it made either list. And now fishing, he says. Well, here's the thing. We talk about a wide variety of things on our Q&As, so there's something for everyone. There you go.
Basically, we just keep you on your toes.
That's right.
You never know what's going to come out of our mouths.
Derek does say some of the most controversial videos on the Dice Tower were my favorites, such as the top 10 games that we hate, 2015. I get it. I do. Jessie, what is your number 1 game?
I don't remember. What's my number 1 game?
I don't know. It's your number 1, not mine.
I have to look at my list. Harry Potter Hogwarts Battle was one of them.
I'm live. Let me call you back. Okay. All right. What's up? Oh, jeez.
Take it outside. Was that Michael?
Yeah.
Go take it outside. Okay. Make sure he's okay.
I'll be right back. But you have to riff.
I have to riff. I'm trying to find my top 5 top games. I have to make notes because I'm not a good rememberer. Rememberer is a pretty good word, I'm pretty sure. I really like some of the ones I really like off the top of my head. I like Cascadia. I like Hogwarts Battle. I like Junk Drawer. I like, where's my list? I don't remember. Top 10 Christmas movies, which was another top 10 we did. I like Onitama. Here's my top. I got my list. Hogwarts Battle, Onitama, Odin's Ravens, Horrified, Just One, Telestrations, Illiterati. Oh, I want to play Illiterati today. That would be super fun. Daphne's never played it. So I did a top list of games based on moments, memories. My top games weren't, my gosh, this is the most amazing game I've ever played. This was so much fun playing Odin's Ravens on the Amtrak with my new husband Sam on our honeymoon, sitting at this little tiny table playing Odin's Ravens. That's why it's my number 3, because it's a moment that's really significant to me. So that's my top games. But Hogwarts Battle is probably one. I'm moving over a little bit so I can kind of see if anybody has said anything. We do always get calls, Kabuki. Oh my gosh. It's like every day. Every day. Yesterday, in the middle of the hockey game, I got a call from Daphne's coach that she had passed out twice. So, Horrified is so much fun, Tim. I love it. Says David likes the idea of posting both games at the same, or both lists at the same time, but I'm of the opposite opinion. I like the anticipation of waiting until Monday for what else is on the list. Anticipation. So, all good?
You didn't share your whole top 10, did you?
No, I gave like summary. Brrr.
Did you just say
No, I said a few, but I said the reason why my top 10s were my top 10s is because they were based on moments.
Experiences.
Yeah.
Yep.
All okay?
Yeah, everything's fine.
Okay.
He's going to come by and pick up his Traeger today. So that's one more thing out of our kit.
Maybe he can take some of the other
out of
stuff.
our garage. Yeah.
Not only his Traeger, there's his toolbox, there's a bed.
Well, his garage is full just like ours is right now, so I got to give him time to move in. Let's see here.
Did you come back on? Did you turn on?
Yeah, I'm on.
But
Let's see
Hogwarts
here.
Battle
All
is
live
one of my
top
all
10
favorites.
at cons with Sam were great. Yeah, those were fun.
Yeah.
We know what your number 2 game is. Tee-hee.
No. Didn't even.
The poop game.
No, we're talking about.
You guys always get calls when live.
I know. It's what I said too. I was like, every time, Kabuki. Every time.
How we can ask all this questions Sam won't answer.
What won't Sam answer? I don't know.
There's not really a whole lot.
We don't have a lot of secrets.
So you must have talked about Horrified.
I mentioned a few of my top.
Yeah.
But
David
I
likes
did post
the
a top 10 of my, or top 50 of my games. Top 25? What did I do?
No, you did.
Top 50.
Yeah.
I did top 50, so you should check them out. They're all posted on there.
They're all there.
And me rambling about why each one was so significant to me.
Oh, that would be a cool idea.
What's that?
Tim. Well, the only problem, Tim says, have you thought about getting a lady friend of yours to do a bottom top 10 opposite me and JT? So you and somebody else does their bottom 5, top 5.
Oh.
And opposite. I just don't know that. I don't know that you have enough.
I don't have enough game experience.
To do multiple top 10s. Like, I mean, with me and JT, I've been doing this for.
Right, and look at this. He's played. I mean,
years.
I've played like this much.
And
of all
JT's
the
done the
things.
same. And JT's been like, diving into the deep end for the last few years. And don't get me wrong, Jess plays a lot of games.
I'm
she
playing
plays a
more.
lot of games.
This
But-
channel is helping me play more.
Yeah.
I'm learning more. I'm playing more.
Right.
I also have a hard time with games because if there was no significant memory attached to that game, if we didn't laugh or we didn't, like if it was just we played a game and I didn't have that emotional tie-in,
Yeah.
I will forget that we played that game.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, yeah, we played that game, but it was just us playing. My memories are tied to moments. Like,
You should do a top 5 best games you played for the first time monthly, for example. That might be.
that's a good one. That's a good idea.
That might be a cool
You want
idea.
to write that down? There's no pen.
No, it's up here. Steel trap.
Oh, dear Pete, would you like to write it down?
I won't remember that I remembered it, but
Yes,
it's up
here,
there.
let me make one then. Because I'm like, your steel trap and my steel trap are like a steel trap underwater for crabs, and all the water just pours out. See, I forgot what you just said.
Top 5 best games you played for the first time every month. That's a good idea. Jessie, have you thought about... Oh, we already read that one. Shh, Sam is back. That's right. Y'all better recognize. Shh, he's back. Odin Ravens, a museum pick, Sam? I hadn't heard of it. Okay.
Oh.
I'll talk about that next week.
Well, I will
on
talk
It
about
Belongs
why I
in a
loved
Museum.
it.
Yeah, go
Is
ahead.
because it was tied to the memory of us on our honeymoon, playing it on the Amtrak table, which is about half the size of this game. It's literally
Pretty
like
close.
this thing.
Pretty
And
stinking
the
close.
two of us are playing Odin's Ravens, which makes this long snaking thing of chains.
I'm serious.
And we'd be fine, and then the train would go.
Exactly.
Involved lots of giggling.
Great minds, David. And chat lag. Sam, I can't recall having your children on video with you to do reviews. Do they like board games? I used to do, back when I lived in Florida and I was full-time with the Dice Tower, I used to do a lot of videos with Aiden, my youngest boy. And we used to do a lot of kids games because back then he was kindergarten, first grade, sixth grade, second grade, I mean. So those were the years that I kind of did those. I didn't do a whole lot of them, but I did a few. Other games, I would have my kids play with me on some live streams. We did Roar, King of the Pride for one of them. We did, I can't remember all we did, but I used to have some in there. Eric Ritter, $4.99.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Glad to see you back on the Dice Tower. Wasn't the same without you. Been a fan of the Heelys since 2013. My family and I live in Colorado. You two ever visit here?
My sister lives in Colorado.
Yeah. What? In
Longmont.
what?
Longmont.
Longmont?
Did my my
That
words
T
just
did not
all
did not show up.
all of
T
that
did not
got
show
stuck.
up.
Longmont. I don't
Yeah,
know. That's a really hard
Longmont.
word for me.
Longmont. You were like Longmont. I was like
Longmont.
I've never heard of Longmont,
that
Colorado.
gets super stuck.
But
It's that
yep.
hard A. We don't visit Colorado very often. I've never visited with Sam.
Yes. But I used to go to Colorado as a kid. Every year, my grandparents went to can't remember the name of the group now. OCSC, there we go. OCSC conference, which has now changed names to Cadence International. And they used to go to a week-long retreat at a place called Horn Creek, Colorado. Nice. And it was it was in the same area, about an hour away from Pikes Peak, Colorado. I remember going up to Pikes Peak a couple of times, but really I just remember the lodge, and you know, it wasn't camping, it was like a lodge.
Yeah, yeah.
And so we did that every year. That was used to go there, you know, every summer.
Nice.
That was the thing. So that was pretty cool. But other than that, haven't really visited Colorado that much.
I've only been down to visit Emma a couple of times, my sister. Just a couple of times.
Sam had the boys play a couple of titles live recently. Sniper Elite. No, not Sniper Elite. It was
Raw
and
Tutankhamun. And
then I also had Aiden play Call of Duty from
Oh,
that's coming
Call
out
of
from
Duty. Yeah,
Arcane
yeah.
Wonders. I did that recently with him. Not Sniper Elite though.
I've been saying we need to do a live with all, like on a day where we have all the kids, we should do. But it's hard. First off, our room in here and our camera setup is really hard to get any more than 3. We can get
Tight.
3, but it's kind of smushy.
Yeah.
Any more than 3, we can't
4
really
is
get
really
everybody.
smushy. 3 is not that bad.
So it would be really hard to get a play with all of us in here.
We did do 5-player game of Horrified once.
We did a 5-player game of Horrified.
So I know we can do it, but it is squishy. It is
Like
squishy.
it is like chair to chair, we were like this. But
We are doing a family reunion in Denver this year.
Oh,
I'll
fun.
be forcing cousins to try lots of new board games.
nice. If I were to go to Colorado right now, we would have a stack of games that I would want my sister and her family to play. But that probably wouldn't happen.
Tim says, I like Letters from Whitechapel over Sniper Elite. I haven't played Sniper Elite yet, so I really can't. I do like Letters from Whitechapel, though. Derek S., will you be following the NHL playoffs? Here's my thing. I do like watching hockey. I'm not going to be following them. If I get to catch some games, then great. If not going to hurt me that much. I like watching sports in person much more than anything else. I don't really like watching sports on TV that much. I usually only watch the big games. But I probably watch more hockey on TV than any other sport.
True. I will agree with that.
Because that's the one sport that I really do enjoy watching. But I much prefer going in person to anything else. Do you know the designer Keith Myers? No, I don't. Let's see here, though. Keith Myers, designers. Let's see. Tiki Topple, Sitting Ducks Gallery, Amnesia, Shake and Take, Sitting Ducks Deluxe, Bugs, Cross-Side Fast Figure. I've played Fast Figure before. The Hobbit, The Defeat of Smaug. I've played that before, I think. A lot of Sitting Ducks games. Spit It Out, Squeeze Face, Tiki Topple. I've played Tiki Topple, I think. But, so I don't know him, but I have played some of his games. So, I don't know him, though. He lives up in the mountains with us now in Colorado. I used to be a server game guru at his board game bar, Board Game Republic.
Oh, that's cool.
Had to close after COVID. Oh, that sucks.
So sad.
Doug says Call of Duty, that's right. That was fun watching him start to see the strategy. Yeah, it was. It was really cool. Mind Management gets a lot of love for a quick hidden movement game, one versus all. Canucks are in the playoffs for the first time in a long time, and I am stoked.
Ready to go to Vancouver.
Yes, Kabuki Mind Management is great. My wife is put off by the art, so I haven't gotten to play it much. Mind Management, another one of my shelf of shame. Mind Management is on my shelf of shame, Tim Prince says. I don't own it, so it's not on my shelf of shame. Ha ha.
But we have enough.
Yeah, we have plenty of shelf of shame games, believe me. That's part of the thing that, yeah, we have some games over there that I want to play today. With just you, maybe. I just need to refresh my memory on them.
Sure. I'm game. I did say I would like to go for a little walk today.
Yeah, I know you said that.
Just a little walk, not like super far. And the nice thing about going for a walk with the kids, at least the 2 of them, is they will open up on a walk and just blah, 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 and they both have a lot to tell me about from their past week. So then you're not forced to listen
I
to
think you could go on a walk with them. Yeah, that would be
Maybe
a
I'll
great
do that.
idea. That'd be a great idea.
Maybe I'll do that. Let you stay home and take a nap.
No, I don't have time for a nap. I have to edit videos.
Yeah, you do have to edit.
I know Sam likes Clue, the Great Museum Caper. I'll have to try Mind Management. Maybe. As a content creator in board games, Derek asks, what has been the best way to connect with publishers? Get reconnected to the industry. For me, it's been going to conventions with Love Thy Nerd. I've been able to refresh a lot of connections that way. If you send an email, unless they recognize your name, you can kind of bleed into the background. And I usually, well, I always, not usually, I always start every email that I send with, hey, this is so-and-so. I have my own channel called Flipside of Board Games. I used to do stuff with the Dice Tower, so that I kind of jogged their memory a little bit. And that has helped me a lot. And, but I always start it because I don't assume. I don't want to assume that that people know who I am. That's just not the way I operate. So I try to jog their memory for them in that email, and then move on to whatever request. If it's just touch and base, and hey, if you have anything that you'd like to collaborate with us on, or whatever, whatever the request is, I'll go to that from there. But email can work, but I've found that, as with almost any other area of life, face-to-face
Personal interaction.
personal interaction is the best way to really kind of get connected, because they don't just have a name, they also have a face with a name, they have an experience, a good hearty handshake or a hug, if they're huggers, whatever it might be,
Or a laugh, or
that provides more of a visceral connection than just an email. But I know that going to conventions isn't part of everybody's budget. And frankly, it wouldn't be part of my budget either if I weren't being sponsored by, that's kind of a backwards.
if you weren't helping.
If I weren't going to serve with Love Thy Nerd, then it wouldn't be part of my budget either. I can't just drop, $500 on a plane ticket and $500 on a hotel on a whim. $1,000 for a trip to a convention, that's just not in the cards. Can't do it. So I know it's not easy, but that's the easiest way to do it. But emails, Zoom calls, all that kind of stuff. Most people have those Calendly apps now, and you just have to schedule time and do it. And then make sure you're there. Don't schedule time and then not be there.
And then they won't ever talk to you
I've done that
again.
many times, and I've sent many apologetic emails. I haven't done it many times. I've done it a couple of times, but I try not to do it at all. Who at the Dice Tower currently would align the most with your taste in games? Roy, Canada, easy. Easy peasy. Now, with that being said, I think I have a lot of crossover with Joey, and I think I probably have a lot of crossover with Chris Yee, but I think Chris is a little bit more of a heavy thinker than I am. I do. I would probably say Chris and Joey are probably the closest ones. Tom and I have a lot of crossover too, but he's much more of an intellectual than I am, so he goes a little bit deeper
so
as well. Mind management is also apparently good with most at any player count. Cool. Yeah, I think 3 to 4 is better, because the team searching can have the fun of discussing where the hidden player is. It does work well at 2, though. Yeah. What? I let you out. What are you bugging me for? You gotta get your eye stuff done. See, Papa, stop sticking your finger in my eye. Did you guys like Dune Part 2? My wife and I loved it. I loved it.
It was really pretty. The acting was good.
She is not a
The
Dune
visuals were amazing.
fan. She is not a Dune fan at all. But she did go with me, and she did enjoy it.
I did enjoy it.
What? What, Poppers? You want to come say hi?
No.
No? Come here. Come say hi.
No, you just said
I
no.
don't want to. I don't want to, Papa. I just want to go outside. Well, we just let him outside. He's
You're
fine.
fine.
He's just getting antsy. It's almost time to stop. He always does this.
I know, he
He's
knows.
like, 2 hours, Papa. You done. Aren't that right? Yes. All right, well, we are at that time where we need to start signing off. Dune is not for everyone. That is correct, Eric. All right, so we're going to start signing off. Let's do our lightning round.
Sure.
And we'll do lightning round for about 5 or 6 minutes, and then we'll be done. Okay, what?
Puppy.
Puppy shaking his ears. Will Strider ever get a brother or a sister?
He has the cat.
That does not count.
He has 3 kids in the house.
That does not count either. We've
I
actually
don't know.
been talking
I had a
about
moment
it.
a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
I do follow the Humane Society page on our
She
local
had
page.
more than just a moment.
And I was like, I think we need to go get this dog, like right now. Like right now. We need to go get this dog. He doesn't have a home. It's the same age as Strider. He's a big dog. They're going to play. They play nice. I really need to go get this dog.
Yeah.
The problem is we already have a kennel booked for Dice Tower East. So I can't get him.
That is true.
Although they can share. If they're from the same family, they let them have one of the big kennels, remember?
I don't
We
think
have been talking about that. Maybe. It's not off the table, but it's not really something we're thinking about yet.
Yeah.
Especially because this dog over here is a very expensive dog with the amount of times we've had to take him in for surgeries and things like that. I told them the last time, can they just put a zipper in so they can just unzip it, take out the socks he sticks in his mouth, and then
The vets
zip
will
him
not
back up.
install a zipper.
They will
Sorry.
not. I asked them directly to put a zipper in. The problem is Strider is one of those dogs who will eat things and then swallow them and get them stuck and then get very sick and have to get them removed.
He's done that twice now. Then
He's done that twice.
He had irritation for his paws that we had
He
to
has like
treat.
allergies on his feet.
He's a walking hyperallergenic person.
I don't know. He has some issues and he's an expensive puppy every time I take him in. So
But he's fun. He's a good boy. Okay, here we go. 2 hours already. Yep. Time's fun when you're having flies.
Yep.
Goonies or Indiana Jones?
What was the choice? Goonies or Indiana Jones? Goonies. Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones. I'm much more a fan of Indiana Jones.
I love
I
both.
do
I love
really
both.
enjoy the Goonies, though. Don't get me wrong. But I mean, the Goonies is one movie. Indiana Jones is a saga. So I tend to like the sagas more than the one-offs. Anyway,
I love Indiana Jones.
but
too.
I was much more of a Harrison Ford Indiana Jones fan than I ever was Goonies. Which games do you want to play but don't own? You have any?
Yes.
What? Which one?
Silver and Gold Pyramids.
That is true.
I don't own it, and I want you to get it for me.
Yet. I haven't played it yet. I don't
Gotta
think
get
it's
it for me.
available yet.
Really? Have you
No,
looked?
not yet. No.
Can
But
you
it's coming
look?
out this year.
Can you look?
I'll look.
I want that one. I don't own it. I have played it, and I really like it. What else did we play on the cruise that you wanted that we really didn't have?
I don't know.
I thought there was something you were like, "Ooh, I want to get this one."
The one that I probably would play more, but I don't own it, is Massive Darkness 2, Hellscape, or just Massive Darkness 2. I would probably play that more, but that's a big game. I don't know that Jess would enjoy it, so I don't know that I would want to purchase it. Cthulhu Death May Die is another one that I really enjoyed.
Oh yeah, you liked that one.
But again, I don't think we would play it very much, and I know JT owns it, so I could
Right.
do that.
I swear there was another couple games that we
I don't
played
remember.
that
Maybe we'll think about it later.
that you wanted to play?
Keep doing what y'all do. It is enjoyed and very much appreciated. Thank you, Tim.
Thank you,
We
Tim.
appreciate that. Ascension Tactics, yes or no? I don't know because I've not played Ascension in very much a long time, and I've never played Ascension Tactics. That would probably be. I don't know that JT's played Ascension Tactics, but I know he likes Ascension. So that would be a better question for him. World Wonders or Path of Civilization? That's a good question for you.
Oh,
Well, for both of us. I have my
like
I have
both
my
of
take.
those. World Wonders or Path of Civilization. I liked World Wonders because they had these really cool pieces that you got to build, and they were textural and they were visual and they were all colored and they all different shapes. So I'm gonna go World Wonders.
I'm also going to go with World Wonders, but I will say with the caveat that I don't think the two should be compared because you have two really different games. You have a kind of a engine building hand management system with one, and then you have with the other a tile laying spatial organization game where you are managing some resources, but it's not. It's two different weights of games as well. So I really wouldn't compare the two. I think I like World Wonders a little bit better for the toy factor of it. But I really enjoyed Path of Civilization.
Yeah, that was
Gave
fun
that
too.
one 2 thumbs up as well.
Yeah, that was super fun.
Both are really good games, but I probably would side with World of Wonders just for the toy factor alone.
It was super fun.
Tom says most dogs don't eat socks.
You would think?
And Derek says my sister's dog ate a few socks.
Oh no, washcloths and socks. Like literally.
I think it's a texture thing with Strider. He loves that.
Microfiber?
Microfiber.
Oh, my lances.
He loves microfiber, that texture.
And socks.
Yep.
And socks. I'm not kidding. Yes, he's had 2 surgeries to remove socks. But he's also passed through 20 more, at least.
Yeah. Cleaning up poop in the front yard. Yep, that's right. And no, we don't. And no, we do not wash them.
Nope, they just get
wear them
thrown
again.
away. That was my dad's question.
Exactly. So I'm
He
just
goes,
putting
did
that
you
out
get
there.
the sock after the last surgery? He had 2 socks stuck last time.
Whose sock was it?
Whose sock was it? And did you get the socks back?
Did you wash it?
Did you wash them?
Nope.
And I was like, no, I didn't get the sock back. Don't know whose socks it was. And no, I'm not keeping them.
Best Val Kilmer movie?
I have no idea. Give me some of the Val Kilmer movies and I'll tell you what I like best.
I think it's Batman 3.
He was in a Batman. I know
He
that.
played Batman. He was Batman. He was...
Was he the one in Lost Boys a long time ago?
The Saint, where he played like a good-natured... No, he was not in the Lost Boys.
Who was that in the Lost Boys?
That was not the Lost Boys. That was Kiefer Sutherland. That was you're probably thinking about.
That's all.
He also did Top Gun.
Oh, he was
And
in Top Gun.
Maverick.
And Maverick. Okay.
Real
Those were good.
Genius. He also played Doc Holliday in Wyatt Earp.
Ooh, that's
Or,
a good
I'm
one.
sorry, no, not Wyatt Earp. In Tombstone. He
was Doc Holliday.
He was Doc Holliday. I'm gonna probably. I really liked his portrayal of Doc Holliday, but at
liked
the same
that too.
time, I think my favorite Val Kilmer movie. He was a real dork in Top Gun. I know there was some resolution at the end of
really
the
good
game, but
at-
he was a real dork in Top Gun.
In Maverick, it was really touching.
In Maverick, it was really touching, but I think my favorite Val Kilmer movie is Real Genius, where he plays a genius at college, like a savant at college that figures
I don't
out
know
all
any
this
of those,
stuff.
but I do know Doc Holliday. That was good. And I liked him. I liked the rawness of his character in Maverick.
Okay. Yes.
Because that also tied along with the actor's real life and his struggles.
Yeah.
So I liked that.
All right. Coffee, hot or cold?
Hot.
Yeah, I go with hot as well. I don't like cold coffee. I can drink it cold, but if I prefer hot. Same with tea, hot or cold.
Hot.
Cold. I love
Sweet
iced tea.
tea. He
Iced
likes,
tea,
yeah.
sweet tea. I love sweet tea. So that's the southern gentleman coming out. Vincent Dutrait or Eric Lang?
We know what Sam's going to say.
Well,
I
both. I'm going to say both because Eric Lang is probably. Oh, I mean, he designed my favorite game.
Right.
And Vincent Dutrade is my favorite artist.
So different.
And Kabuki Kid called Tom out on this. Kabuki Kid said, no, that's apples and oranges.
You can't
And
do
Tom
that.
admitted to his treatment that he's just trying to make it difficult for us. So
Good
thank you,
choice.
Tom,
Good
for
choice. I like it.
owning up to your shenanigans.
I love it.
Pizza sauces, tomato or Alfredo?
Alfredo. I like
Alfredo
a white
as
sauce.
well, because I think we're finding out that I have an allergy to tomatoes. Val Kilmer was Freaky Chameleon in The Doors as Jim Morrison. He was. I've
I
just
didn't
never
see
been a
that
Doors fan, so I've never even seen that movie. Next day or the next day?
I'm going to go with the
Well,
next day
if you're
because
talking to the 14-year-old in our house, then he'll say he thinks repeating the same word over and over and over again is absolutely a valid way of communication. Because in our car, you can sit in the back seat, or in the back seat, or in the back, which is behind all 3 rows of seats.
Okay, that's my fault. I call it the back. My parents call it the back.
It's not.
It is. There's
It's
a
literally-
front seat, a back seat, a back seat.
No. There's a front seat,
back.
a middle seat,
The back,
and a
back,
back seat.
is
And
like
then you
where
have
the
the
trunk
back
is.
of the car, which is the
back,
trunk.
Back is the trunk. But we don't have a
Yes.
trunk. We don't have a sedan.
It is the trunk. I understand that. It is the trunk, though, because it's the back.
It's my fault.
Oh,
It's
my
my fault.
goodness.
But he does say some things like that make us laugh all the time.
Val Kilmer documentary was good. That,
Oh, that
I also
was
agree with.
so good.
That I also agree with.
So good. That was so raw
Allergies
and so
to
good.
tomatoes? Ugh, I'd hate that. I'd love marinara sauce.
don't know.
I don't dislike it, but here's the thing. I think it's a really light allergy. It's not like I look like,
He doesn't look like he's been stung by a bee.
right. It's nothing like
gonna say
that.
that.
It's I don't go in anaphylactic shock. It's just that whenever I eat things that have fresh tomatoes or a lot of acidity, tomato-like acidity, vegetable-y acidity, whatever, I get like blisters all over my mouth.
Yeah, that's not good. I tried to tell
And
him. I'm like, that's not good.
It's not. It's just at the top of my throat usually, not all over my mouth. But there have been things where it's like, wow, my mouth is on fire, and that's not spicy because if she's eating it, it's not spicy.
It can't
and
be
I'm like
spicy.
going, wow, my mouth is on fire, so there's just something not right there.
So, yeah.
You guys are so fun together. Yep, I know. We try to be. I knew I'd start something, Bushman says. All right. Well, I think that's about it. It's 11:04. We
We
now
got games
over
to play.
2 hours. We got to go play. So pizza is a no-no.
No,
Not
pizza's
necessarily a no-no.
great.
It's just that I go with white sauces on my pizzas.
I like
we
white
usually
sauce,
go to
too.
places where we can pick what kind of sauce we have. So just for that reason. So I usually just do white sauces on my pizzas, and everybody else does marinara on theirs. Red sauces. You started something. From a Google search, tomato allergy is often caused by profilin proteins. These are proteins that are present in all eukaryotic cells and are identified as allergens in pollen, latex, and plant foods.
They are part of the nightshade family, which can be a high allergen.
Well, there you have it.
But my mom, when I was talking to her on the phone the other day, she said, I don't understand how people are allergic to nightshades, but we'll eat potatoes because potatoes are part of the nightshade family, and they don't have an allergy to potatoes, so they don't really have a nightshade allergy.
It's just something that you have. Thank you, Professor KK, Bushman says.
We are grateful.
Yep, we are grateful. Thank you for that. All right, we're out of here. We're going to go
Play some games.
say goodbye to a kid who's going to spend the day with his mom, and we're going to go edit some videos and possibly play some games. And
Maybe go for a walk.
And yeah. So we're out of here. Thank you for joining us. Have a great weekend, and we will see you guys and gals on the flip side. Thank you for being here.
Bye.
Take care.
Kabuki says. Ciao.